Yo, welcome to another episode of Weird. I'm your host, BradQuan, and I'm here with a very special guest. He is the owner of local magazine publication Experience Monthly, a platform that has given me space to showcase my writing ability and also improve upon my writing ability. His name is Fredette. Art is extremely humble man, a very gracious individual, somebody who's willing to give, he's willing to give a space to pretty much anybody who's willing to express themselves and share their literary talent. And I mean, he's really helped bring the life out of me, and I wanted to return that by pulling the life out of him for this podcast episode. So
I'm dead inside. No help.
So that said, man, I really wanna dive in, man. Art, how the hell are you, brother?
I'm great. Thank you for asking me to do this. This is exciting. I don't get asked to do many things like this, so usually on the other side of the microphone. So this is great. Thank you.
Absolutely. And you know what I think, but that's the thing that I've really been working on pushing, like, because people say that they don't often get asked to be interviewed or they don't feel like they're interesting enough to be interviewed and all that. And the point I make is we as regular people, we are the backbone of society. Without us, this shit crumbles.
True that.
The higher ups that we despise and whatnot, if we uprise, there's a fucking problem. There's a serious problem. And I believe that power that we have, that says a lot about us. That value tells me precisely why it is we are worthy of being interviewed, why we are worthy of being highlighted, and why we are worthy of being given our flowers, because we give so much without even realizing it. We're far more important than we give ourselves credit for. And I want to give people the credit that they deserve, because without us, there is no this. You know what I mean?
Yes. I've often said this, if you take the average person's life,
Mm-hmm.
and you put it in novel form,
Mm-hmm.
people want to believe what the average person experiences over. You tell stories and all that, but it's stranger than fiction and infinitely more interesting.
Absolutely.
Less contrived, because life unfolds on top of you. You don't have, and you don't get the option to pick what's coming next.
Mm-hmm.
Most of it is how we react.
Mm-hmm.
And not always good. I haven't always reacted well. But sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. It is what it is. Hopefully you take a lesson away from it and move on.
Absolutely. It's just, I mean, it's humanity. Like the beauty of humanity lies in the imperfection of it.
Beauty of everything lies in the imperfections.
Yeah.
We have a sign that hangs in the studio for my announcers. It says, "The magic's in the mistakes."
Mm-hmm.
Because if you sound too perfect all the time, what are you? You're bored.
Mm-hmm.
You stumble over a word, or you sneeze on the air or something. Leave it in there. Show them you're human. Let them relate to you.
Mm-hmm.
You're not just this omnipotent or talking head, or just this voice like Orson from Mork and Mindy. I'm dating myself, but this disembodied voice from somewhere. You're human again.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole thing. Be human. Enjoy the mistakes. You make mistakes, it means you're trying.
Yes. And making mistakes is the only way we can learn. You know what I mean? I'm a firm believer in epistemic humility. It's the openness to being wrong on the path to becoming right. We have a fear of being wrong because we don't want to be, we're so scared of being judged. We have to push this, we want to push this narrative about ourselves that's rooted in perfection. And I feel like the digital age, social media, all this shit pushes that. And it makes us afraid of being human. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to combat that with this platform. I want people to come on. I want people to just to be willing to just
to have a conversation.
Yes, showcase your flaws.
Sure.
Be who the hell you are, man. You know what I mean? Don't second guess yourself. You know what I mean? Don't, all the anxieties, all the insecurities, all that stuff is welcome here. You know what I mean?
It's going to be there anyway. You may as well embrace it.
Yeah. We have to be willing to stretch our consciousness and go into the shadows of ourselves and uncover the beauty, beneath the ugliness.
Or the ugly beneath the beauty. Either way.
Yes,
because
sir.
It's all there. That whole, the whole duality of man stuff is for real.
Yes, absolutely.
No one's 100% good. No one's 100%, well, not ever, but no one's 100% good. We'll put it that way.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I do think some people are 100% bad.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's interesting. And that actually goes into I actually wrote a paper recently. It was a literary philosophical reflection on just human morality. And I believe that everybody is redeemable. Everybody deserves a chance at redemption, no matter what monstrosity they've committed, because they are still human. I don't believe anybody is inherently evil. So I say that, and to say that I really want you to elaborate on your point, because that's interesting to me. So you believe that people can be inherently evil?
Yes.
Okay. How so?
Well, the most pat and tried and true answer, Adolf Hitler.
Okay.
Pol Pot.
Okay.
John Wayne Gacy.
Fair enough.
Elizabeth Bathory, the blood countess of Hungary, who bathed in the blood of peasant children to stay young. They're inherently evil. Could they have asked for forgiveness, or maybe done something to somewhat redeem themselves at one point? Maybe. Maybe they got it. Maybe they died with a clear conscience. I don't know. I'm not the one to judge. But doesn't mean you ever forget how evil they were. Sometimes it's just evil. But being a saint is much harder than being a demon.
Yes, it is.
Because it doesn't pay as well. It doesn't pay as well.
I'm not
talking money.
I was just talking to somebody about this very thing, about negative bias, how it's like our basic survival instinct is we apply urgency to negativity that demands our immediate attention, because whatever it is, it's disrupting our comfort, our sense of peace. So we need to go at that now, whereas something positive can wait.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that said, I definitely understand what you're saying. As far as the thing, you see, the interesting thing about Hitler and all these other evil people, make no mistake, what they did was monstrous. I mean, that goes without saying, but I feel like everybody's born with a blank slate.
That I agree with.
Yeah.
It's what happens between A and B that makes people who they are.
Absolutely.
What trauma, what influence, what did it, what pushed them to the dark side, Luke. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. I agree with that. We're all born the same, helpless, young little babies. And
very impressionable. Absolutely.
Yeah, you're a lump.
Yes.
I have kids, and that first 18 months of their life, think about the change they go through. They go through being basically a helpless lump that can't even open its eyes or see, to a walking, talking individual that starts having opinions.
Starts talking shit eventually.
We were going over my daughter's baby book last night. She's 19 now.
Oh, God.
And we wrote down all the stuff she said that was crazy. And that girl was out. I'm going to go home and douse her in holy water, some of the stuff that came out of her child's mouth. And she's one of the most caring, wonderful, nice, good people I know. Matter of fact, I strive to be as good a person as she is.
Oh, my God. I love it. It reminds me of my goddaughter, one of my goddaughters, when I think she was 3 or something. She did something that she wasn't supposed to do. I don't remember what it was, but I gave her a light pop on her hand, and she was very much taken aback. I could see it on her face, and she called me a bitch, and she stuck her index finger up at me, thinking it was her middle finger. And I was frozen for a second because I had never been spoken to like that by a toddler, and I was like holy shit. You know what I'm saying?
I'm blessed. I raised 3 kids who are all better people than I am.
And I think, but that's the goal. The goal for a parent, and I hope that someday I can have that role.
A godfather?
Yeah.
Right. And that's an important role too.
Absolutely. And I feel like the goal should be to raise them to be better than you, but more importantly, you have to show them how. You know, like my father would look at me when I would make some of the mistakes that he made, and he was like, "Why is he doing that? He's supposed to be better than me." And I'm like, "What you're saying is valid, but like, if you don't show me how,
right,
how is that going to be possible?" You know what I'm saying?
I think that every kid forgets. Every kid forgets. And your parents are people.
Your parents are learning too,
and they're just going through it. They're just trying to get through the day like you are.
Absolutely,
but they've got the responsibility of you. On top of it. And you know, I'm not excusing bad parenting, but you make mistakes. I've made mistakes. Hell, I make the good ones 2 or 3 times because, you know, I'm not that smart as far as picking things up. Sometimes it's like, hey, dumb, you know, but, you know, when you realize, and this is how I became really good friends with my father, my parents had divorced. Stop looking at him as my father as much as just a guy trying to get through life.
Yes.
And then I could understand, and then that a whole different development of our love happened.
Yes.
Because you're flawed too. I get it. Oh, you did this because you don't want me to be a knucklehead like you. I get it, you know? And it's a hard thing for kids to learn.
It is. But I feel like too, and this is something that I've spoken to people about on this platform quite a few times. It's like a lot of parents, and I can speak from the experience of being a child and being berated for something that I didn't deserve to be berated for, and there's no apologies, not for being wrong.
No.
And what I believe is that paints the parent as this omnipotent being,
sure,
that knows everything. You know what I mean? This person can't be wrong. This person is mighty, and you know what this person says goes, period. And what that does is, once this individual finally does make a mistake, it's going to rock the kid to the core, to the point where they question their understanding of reality, and it creates this resentment. And I'm just like, well, shit. Like,
so you can head that resentment off at the pass.
Say that again.
You can stop that resentment from happening.
Okay.
Because every parent's going to have that moment, and every kid should have that moment, and you should. Okay. Yes, you're omnipotent. Yes, you're all powerful, because they rely on you for everything.
Fair enough.
Okay. You will make mistakes. I had. But when that moment comes where you fall, that's when the parent really needs to step up and do some true parenting and say, hey, guess what? I'm human. I fucked up. You know, and that stops the resentment. Talk it over. Tell me what's going on. You know, I've had these conversations with my kids. I don't know if I've gotten where I need to get with them on all of it. I tried. But, you know, it is what it is.
I mean, that said,
and I know that's not, I don't mean to dismiss it. It's just, it's one of those inevitabilities that's going to happen.
Yes. No, I don't think it is dismissing this at all. I do want to add, do you believe in apology and apologizing when you're wrong? Like, have you done that?
Oh, I own it. If I screw up, I own it.
You own it. You know what I mean?
I mean, I do that. I tried to do that my whole life. That, cause it's easier to own it and work on than it is to walk around with that big head.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, I don't know. To me, it just seems like a better path, less resistance. You go, yeah, I screwed up. I screwed up. You know, I may not get forgiveness, but I do own it.
Fair enough. That's That's real. And it brings me into my first question for you, my friend.
All right, here we go.
What experience from your life do you feel most profoundly shapes the person you became, even if most people would never know about it?
Well, it's funny because it's going to sound like I'm selling my business when I say this, but I was a 15-year-old kid running track, doing the high school stuff, and my father spoke to one of the other parents at the meet whose door was running. And he said, "This kid's into music. I'm not. Can you take him up to your radio show with you and let him see what you do?" And I went up, and the 15-year-old kid, he said, "Bring your 4 favorite records." And I brought them with me, and I went up and played that 4 songs, song from each record. And then he said, "You want to come back next week?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." He hands me a crate of records, a full crate of records. He said, "Listen to all these before you come back. This is your homework." And that moment set all of this and everything that went beyond it in motion. From there, I discovered, literature, because some of these musicians I was listening to were referencing writers that you're not going to find in a high school library. You're not going to find William Burroughs in a high school library. You're not going to find John Fonte or and you're just not going to. You're not going to find Hegel, Kant. You're not going to find this stuff. You're not going to find Albert Camus. It's not going to happen. But through some of these musicians and through stuff that he was telling me about, I started exploring that stuff. And because of that, I opened my first business, music involved, DJing weddings and parties and clubs and stuff like that. And then I went into sales for radio, and then I went and rent a bar for a bunch of years. And then I went back into sales and radio, and then I went to this, and now I published a magazine. It all starts from that first trip to the radio station with a guy who's become my best friend. That was the seminal moment in my life.
Everything.
That changed everything. It also taught me to be, a lot of it was like critical thinking was important from that. Because if you listen, especially, I don't listen to music where it's avant-garde with him and stuff like that. And not just jazz avant-garde, but difficult music sometimes. And it forces you to go, do I like this? Do I not like this? Am I liking it because it's good? And then you get to the music snob place a few years in, where you're like, just because it's on the radio, it sucks. Well, that's not true either.
Absolutely.
That's just elitism, another form of it. Everybody's flexing about something.
Because you go to the anti-establishment.
You become a contrarian for a little while. Everything that's made money sucks. No, not true.
Absolutely.
Big fan of pasteurized milk. It's sorry. I'm all about that.
Oh man. And that gets me into something else. How we're the only species that drinks another species.
Yeah, that's just I don't personally.
I'm a fan of oat milk. I prefer oat milk, not so much almond milk, because the production of almond it affects the bees. But we don't got to get into all that.
I used to put orange juice on my Fruit Loops as a kid.
Interesting. I mean, I used to put cheese slices on Chips Ahoy cookies. So I guess we all do weird shit.
Right? Salsa, baby. Try that sometime. It's not as bad as you think. It
might have to be super
spicy and sweet.
I might have to be super stoned to really appreciate that. I don't know. That might be something worth tapping into. Man.
There's been a couple things in this world that had to be super stoned to appreciate. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Not a bad thing at all.
But I wanted to go back to the conversation about you in high school being exposed to all these writers that you're not going to find in a high school library and stuff like that. Do you believe as an adult, now, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I will be 59 July 10th.
As a 59-year-old man, do you believe that the academic system, do you believe that they really set children up to think for themselves?
No.
Fair enough.
And less now than ever before.
Why do you think that is?
I believe that, this is going to sound terrible. You ever read a letter from supposedly fourth or fifth grade educated guy from the Civil War writing home to his wife?
Well, you know what? Yes, but vaguely. But please, go ahead.
But I'm saying, you look at the vocabulary, the penmanship, all of that. Our college seniors aren't writing on that level. Words had been neutered, and meetings have been changed substantially, especially over the past 30 years. And now everything is it's a shouting match. There's no more critical thinking.
Age of the reactionary.
I have said to my kids repeatedly, question everything. With people all the time, question everything. Come to your own conclusion. Then question that. Because bias is everything. And we've also lost nuance. Nobody understands nuance anymore. You can't. Satire is becoming a thing of the past because everyone's surface level. No one's being taught to critically think anymore.
Elaborate on the nuance part. I think that's really important.
Okay. Are you familiar with Blazing Saddles?
Blazing Saddles? I've heard of that.
It's a movie written by Richard Pryor.
Yes.
And Gene Wilder, and produced by Mel Brooks.
Okay.
The whole thing is a lampoon of racism. And they take it to the absurdist level on purpose to show how stupid it truly is. I was watching it one time, and a millennial age person came in, and they heard the N-word. And they flipped out.
Fair enough.
Okay? But they didn't know the context. And the context was to make the person who was using it look stupid.
Yes.
Now remember, movie written by a black man, Richard Pryor, who was just amazing comedian and smarter than just insane smart. And Gene Wilder, a Jewish man, was also, and they were making fun of all the stereotypes and poking holes in all of it. But they're doing it in a way that wasn't preachy or heavy-handed. It's like, look at these morons. Let's have a laugh at their expense.
Yes.
And that kind of nuance is missed. Everything is either black or white or cut and dry, and nothing in life is that. Everything is an area of gray, and shades of gray. Yeah, you want to be as close to the light side of everything as possible, the goodness side. But life is it's a spectrum.
Yes.
And we don't teach people to scratch the surface anymore. Here it is, spoon fed. There you go. Enjoy. Yeah. Here's your make opinion. 2 triple cheese side order fries, special sauce. In your opinion, eat up, shut up. Don't you dare question.
We don't want to understand things in their entirety.
And AI is going to make it worse.
Yes.
Because nothing's going to be real.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, literally almost every conversation I've had as of late, AI has found its way into it, but that's because AI is such a monumental thing right now.
Yeah, people say, well, it's felt like just like they said when cars came out. A little different. Okay? Yeah, cars put the guys who drove stagecoaches out of business. I get it. It didn't fundamentally take over most of the society. Matter of fact, it made things better in the long run because now you can get to work easier. You can go farther and visit places. Most people never went outside of 30 miles around their house until the advent of the automobile.
I mean, I feel like the people who were driving the stagecoaches, I mean, I feel like they were then forced to pivot. And if you truly have the fortitude to be successful, you can find that within this new technology.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. You know what I mean?
But it's got to be interesting to watch.
Yes. I feel like change forces you to adapt or die.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's the main thrust behind evolution, isn't it?
Yeah. You know, I mean,
why do certain birds have a beak that is pointed? Oh, they drink nectar from flowers. Why other birds have beaks that look, and this is all, this is all just, origin of species shit.
Absolutely.
But they can break nuts with that beak, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, and people are no different. We've just been really comfortable and things being relatively the same since the turn of the last century.
Absolutely.
Yes, the moon and flying and all that. Okay, that's all incremental. This is revolutionary. This is literally a bomb going off in society. Yeah. It's going to be change.
Yeah, I was actually speaking with Shannon Taya, and she was telling me about how these AI like data centers, it's like harming our water supply uses all the water or something like that. I'm paraphrasing it heavily, but I don't remember exactly.
Because they need large amounts of water for cooling. They also the electricity situation. But the truth is, if it's economically not feasible, they will find another way to do it. Because once again, those type of people that build those kind of things, what are they driven by? Money. There'll be other ways. They're talking right now, putting them in the bottom of the ocean, so they're automatically cooled by the sea. Okay, and then you can always argue, well, it's going to make the ocean go up in temperature. And okay, maybe, I don't know. I mean, it's staying on the edge of something. We'll see what happens. It could be the Terminator, or it could be Utopia. I don't know. I'm on the back nine. I don't care.
I try to find the positive in everything. Like I utilize AI as an editor and also as a professor. You know what I mean? Like
it's a tool.
It is a tool, 100%. I love learning. Now that I've gotten older, I love learning. I'll say, hey, I have this piece I wrote, right? Yeah. I want you to view this through the lens of an Ivy League professor and tell me how I can elevate this piece. You know?
Using the tool.
Yes.
That's right. You don't have to create the piece for you.
Yeah.
Right. And there lies the rub.
100%.
Like, I know people are letting AI write all their emails now. Majority of Americans aren't good writers to begin with.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, this is going to sound weird at first.
Good.
Come up through elementary school in the 70s.
Okay.
Calculators happen. They're big, bulky things with batteries. They plug them into the wall and terrible displays, right?
Holy shit.
And the nuns used to say to us at school, you're not going to have a calculator everywhere you go in the future, so you better learn how to do math.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now you put letters in math, I'm done.
Fair enough.
Okay? But basic ciphering, as my grandmother would call it. You know, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. I can do that. I get checks in or something for the business and I have to make a deposit. I hit them all up a piece of paper by hand first.
Okay.
And then I use a calculator to check myself. And I do that. This is just like you, which would make my paper better. I do that so I don't lose the skill of knowing how to do the math.
100%.
Okay, so these people who aren't writing their own emails anymore are losing their skill to write. It is the final dumbing down of the populace in general if they use it that way. It's like anything else. Any tool can be used wrong. You can kill somebody with a hammer or you can build a house.
Yes. Yeah. So yes.
Very simple.
Absolutely.
Right? So use your tool properly and build.
You know? And it's like,
stop being afraid of everything. The sky's not falling. And if it does, you can't stop it anyway.
Yeah. And it's like, I try to make this point, but I don't want to allow the pro to completely cloud all of the cons.
No, you can't.
Yeah, 100%.
Hey, just read iRobot. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Don't watch the movie. Read the book.
I didn't know it was a book.
Yeah.
All this shit, you know, all this.
Isaac Asimov. Well, that's it. You know what I'm saying? You know what? We put cat videos up on our phone. We make stupid memes. And I'm guilty of sharing memes and having fun with it.
Everybody does.
Sure. And we're all, because it's mindless entertainment and the dopamine doesn't suck.
Yeah.
But sit down with a book. Listen to a book on your phone. Let them read you Catcher in the Rye. So you experience it. Let them read you, I don't know, the Epic of Gilgamesh. So you understand where your Bible comes from.
I actually recently bought the Communist Manifesto.
And Doc Patel's also an interesting read. You know, that's funny because my bookshelf at home, it's pared down substantially over the year because I'm trying to purge myself of stuff.
Fair enough.
Once you lose a couple parents and stuff like that, you start realizing stuff is an anchor. Collect experience instead.
Okay.
And, you know, but, you know, a book sitting right there is just Profiles in Courage. Right, of Kennedy. There's the writings of Harry Truman, Das Kapital. There's you know, Communist Manifesto. There's a copy of Mein Kampf.
You know what?
That's because I believe what the man said. I wonder what this crazy motherfucker was saying.
Yes, it's because you have to understand how this shit works.
Correct.
In order to contribute to a better future. 100%.
Read it all.
Yes. And you know what? I dove deeply into that shit because I'm like, I want to really understand how this shit captured the minds of millions. And it really wasn't anything genius.
No, it's poorly written.
It's repetition.
It's just it's the message.
Yeah.
It's marketing.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's not a good market.
Mm-hmm.
People were desperate enough and stupid enough and racist enough and biased enough to buy into this shit.
Yeah.
But you're reading so you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have a shelf full of Bibles and religious texts on my bookshelf.
Okay.
I have the Torah. I have the Talmud. I have King James Bible, Catholic Bible. I have the Gnostic Gospel. I have the Gospel of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. Okay, I've got Dianetics. I've got the Book of Mormon.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to know.
Yes.
I'll formulate my own opinions, and then I'll question them even more afterwards, because that's what I tell the kids to do. I'm living by that.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as you can.
Mm-hmm.
And the more you actually know, the easier it is to shit detect.
Yeah.
I've heard this before. That was a menace. You just recycling. Because there ain't nothing new under the sun. Music, art, all of this. Rarely does anything new happen.
Absolutely. Yeah. Damn, man. I gotta explore your bookshelf someday.
Come on. Take it out.
You know, because it's like the more you,
And I've got crappy fiction too. You know,
I mean, there's
I've got like Anne Rice. You know, what the hell? But I've also got Frankenstein and Dracula and the classics, and I've got Grapes of Wrath, that kind of crap too. But I got Henry Miller, Capricorn, Cancer, and Black Spray. I got all that. I read it all.
There's something to be learned from everything.
And there's something exactly you can take away something from a Danielle Steele novel. You can take something away from a commercial. We were talking before we started recording, and I said, sometimes I say to people, life's like a Nike commercial. Just do it. And that's as legitimate as War and Peace.
Absolutely.
And maybe more applicable sometimes.
Yeah.
You learn lessons. I read a lot of Hermann Hesse when I was younger.
Okay.
German writer, very concrete, very existentialist at times.
Sure.
And it's heavy stuff, but high school or college door wallow reading, you're trying to impress everybody. You might just drop upon something that changed your life.
Yeah.
And I read them, but these books helped me a lot.
Yes.
That doesn't mean I didn't read Silence of the Lambs when it came out, because why not?
Absolutely.
Sometimes a book is it's a beach book and it's good to read. Sometimes a movie's about popcorn.
The best.
Not everything's art.
Fair enough.
With a big A. With a big A.
Okay.
With that giant A. Like the Sistine Chapel is art with an A.
Yes. Yeah.
Andy Warhol's art was art with a small letter A, because Andy wanted to make sure it could be mass consumed and produced.
Understood.
But then his concept was art with a big A. See, so you're will it go round in circles, to quote Billy Preston.
Oh wow. Yeah, man. Because one thing I've learned about good art, the beauty of art, is like the best things, whether it's shows or books or movies or music, is shit that can teach you something about yourself.
But sometimes, conversely, it's all right to just be entertained.
Fair enough. No, that's true. That's true.
Suicide Squad. That was a bad movie. Yeah, I loved it.
Really?
Yeah, you know why? Because it was so bad. It was Japanese monster movie band. And Jared Leto saved the whole thing for me with his Joker, because he was the only one who played the Joker in a new and original approach.
It was like some real pretty boy shit.
Yeah. It was, and
he was a good actor.
But I liked it because it wasn't typical, and was it a good movie? Shit, no. I've been doing when it comes. Independence Day, is it a good movie? No. But I watch it.
Fair enough.
Mars Attacks is brilliant. And here's why it's brilliant, because it's a send-up of that entire genre of of filmmaking from like the late 50s with the UFO attacks movies. But is it a good movie? No, but it's brilliant in its concept.
Fair enough.
The idea, once again, lampooning the nuance of the little stuff they throw in there where you had to be a movie fan to know it. That was fun.
You got to meet things where they are.
Right.
To truly understand them.
Louie Louie is the greatest rock and roll song ever written.
Huh.
It's not even a rock and roll song. It starts out as almost a reggae calypso song.
Interesting.
Richard Berry. But it's the greatest song. You know why it's the greatest song ever written? Anyone can play it. Anyone can sing it because you can make up your own damn lyrics because no one's really sure what they are. It's the most equitable rock and roll song ever written.
Holy shit.
I can teach you to play Louie Louie in about 3 minutes here, and I'm not even a musician myself.
That's why it's so great.
And it's great because and yet it stands the test of time because of that greatness, not because it was, homogenizing, commercial and easy. It is easy, but it's great because it's relatable. And sometimes entertainment just needs to be relatable.
And you know what? That goes back to what we were talking about at the very beginning of this with you saying that you don't like, oh, I'm not interesting or whatever, but that's what makes people so damn great. We're all relatable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why regular people, their consciousness deserves to be explored. You can learn something about yourself through understanding the stories of other people.
Yes.
Somebody else, your next door neighbor could provide the spark in you that can lead you to change the world. It's possible. You know what I'm saying?
Pebble pond theory.
Yes. Like,
I love
you know
that.
what I mean?
I had a friend who always about the big causes. Driving himself crazy.
Yeah. I mean,
quite literally.
Yeah.
Making himself depressed and questioning. And I said to him, stop trying to change the world.
Yes.
Start trying to change your world.
You know,
be nice. Hold the door for somebody. I know this sounds stupid. It's like Pollyanna, but I say hi to everybody I see in the street. Look them right in the eye and say hi.
Micro actions have macro meaning. You know what I mean? And that's something that
it took me a long time to learn that.
Yes. I had to course through the evil of myself in order to find the beauty. You know what I'm saying? It's understanding that duality and finding the true essence of you.
And then it goes to, a quote from the famous philosopher RuPaul. How are you going to love somebody else if you don't love yourself? I'm paraphrasing. You don't love yourself, how are you going to love somebody else? Give me an amen up in here.
That's what I'm saying.
You got to love yourself first.
Yes. It has to be I before we.
Yeah. And because with I, a solid grip on I, you can get to we. You can build your tribe. And everybody you talk to has an orbit.
Yes. That's the positive side of selfishness.
Yes.
That's why everything's a spectrum.
That's not even selfishness as much as self-aware.
Fair enough.
Like you were talking about children earlier, and one thing about children is they're designed to be selfish because they won't survive otherwise because they're useless, societally speaking. They really don't give you anything except something to show other people first. And I love my kids, they're my world. But, for most of their lives, it's all about the parasitic relationship, isn't it? I mean, you got to beat them, you got to clothe them, you got to educate them. And then they get to a point where suddenly they're your peer.
Yeah.
And then, but that selfishness, the way babies cry, it's in a certain key. So it gets on adults' nerves on purpose so you can pay attention. That's all natural. And, little kids, you slap one's hand for trying to touch the stove. And they look at you like, how dare you? You touch me? But that's all built in for survival for them.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, selfishness is one thing, self-awareness is another. And we all are somewhat selfish because if not, we step in front of a bus.
100%.
Because we're selfish about our life. We want to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
There was a philosopher who tried to say that nobody can do anything that's completely selfless because they always get a feeling of good or a happy feeling out there or some kind of satisfaction from it. And he literally drove himself insane trying to prove himself wrong, and he could not. You go to a GoFundMe and drop $50 on a guy whose house is burnt down.
Mm.
You feel good about it yourself. Like it or not, you did a good thing.
Yeah.
But you're rewarded. It's okay to get that reward as the dopamine.
Yeah.
You know? So when you embrace that, you go, okay, I want to look for my good feelings by helping others. That's when you win.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you win.
It's just, it's funny looking back at just being human. And you would think like years ago, I had a cousin of mine. I'm not close with this cousin at all, but her apartment burned down.
Mm-hmm.
And, she has kids and shit. Like, I can't imagine what the fuck it is she was going through. Dude, I literally collected money from the people I worked with, from other family members, friends, whatever, added in my own money, bought shit for her, for the kids. Just what like I said, I don't know her, but that's my family. And I'm like, well, shit, if this is what happened to me, I would have wanted somebody, I want to do for her what I would hope somebody would do for me.
And bigger than that, you help somebody in need.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, God, why isn't that? I can't say that nobody else in my family gave her a hand, but nobody else that I saw was. And I'm just like, goddamn. But it's like, we all say, oh, well, this person's family, give them the respect they deserve or whatever. But it's like, when they're really in need, like, are you really giving them what it is they need?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. We throw the family card around so often when it doesn't really matter. But when it does is when, it's just, we're fucking hypocrites.
Everyone's
Everybody's a hypocrite. That's one thing.
Some love another, everyone's a hypocrite.
Dude, that's one thing I've learned. Like, the deeper I course through philosophy, the more I realize, dude, like, you hate hypocrites so much because you are one.
Uh-huh.
Every fucking philosopher.
What do people hate the most?
What
they see in the mirror.
Yes, exactly. That's what I learned, the difference between, like, hate is in direct correlation with love, right? You can't hate what you don't have love for. It's something that's deep rooted. It's something that's personal to you. It's very close to home. That's why my aunt used to always tell me, stop saying you hate this person or you hate this thing. You dislike this thing. There's a difference. That's why whenever somebody would do something, I'm like, I fucking hate that. And I'm like, I had to ask myself, why? Oh, it's because you do it yourself and you don't like the fact that you do it.
There's your mirror.
100%.
There's your mirror.
You know what I mean? People mirror these qualities of you, and you're like, oh, I can't stand this person because they do that. I was like, well, dude, do you do it yourself? Because this word you're using, the way in which you're communicating your feelings, this shit is heavy. You know what I mean?
Love our sisters.
100%.
They're holding hands too, because they're very important to you. It's very important all the way through. Indifference is the difference. Is the opposite of love.
Uh-huh.
You just don't care anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And never you mind.
And it's like, I try to be so careful with the words that I use, the energy that I put out.
Oh. And the thing is, words have meanings, and words can't hurt you, right? Well, yeah, they can. Yeah. Because there's meaning with them, but we should never shy away from using words. Okay. We shouldn't be hateful if we can help it, but we should also use words properly.
Yes, sir.
And we, especially through the media in this country, have changed the meaning of words over and over again.
Yes.
The biggest one that drives me nuts is gender.
Okay. Go in on that, please.
Okay.
I'm interested. Yeah.
And there's biological sex.
Yes.
And that is biology.
Mm-hmm.
Gender's between your ears, not between your legs. So when Hillary Clinton says something like, don't treat me bad because of my gender. I don't know your gender, Hillary. I know your sex.
Okay.
Or the Republicans say there's only two genders. No, there isn't. There's not even only two sexes. But the point being is you're using that word wrong.
Interesting.
biology versus psychology. Okay. And listen, you view yourself as female, you have at it. You view yourself as male, you have at it. You view yourself as a turnip. I don't fucking care. Are you a good person? Okay, but let's not misuse the words to describe what we're saying.
Okay.
You know, another word people use all the time is, oh, he's the epitome of this. Look up epitome in the dictionary. It doesn't mean you're the shining example. It means you're the median. You're the average. Pinnacle is the word you were looking for. Words have meaning.
Yes.
Words because they're meant. That's the only way we can harness our thoughts. Is imperfectly as we do is with our words.
A guy asked me recently, you know, Ricky Bandana. I was, you know, right?
I know I'm a rapper.
Yeah. We were having a conversation one time, and I don't know if he was just talking in general, or if he was just asking me, but he was like, "Do you know what aura is?" And because we throw that word around a lot, aura, you know what I mean? And he then proceeded to break it down, and I just thought it was interesting because he was getting into the same thing you're getting into now. You know what I mean? It's truly understanding the meaning of words and how, you know, society and the media have, you know,
The messaging.
Yeah.
Martha McLuhan, media is the message. And that goes back to the 60s. Another good book you should read. And he says, you know, like if you take anything, you repeat it long enough to become true.
Oh God.
Okay. And especially with lies. They just keep repeating or misusage.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as the word disenfranchised. It's not a word.
Never thought. Wow.
It got created a few years back, and okay, now it's accepted, and it's cool. We have a real word then.
Okay.
You know, but what I'm saying is, then that goes back to your saying about the education system. Nobody reads enough.
It's funny because
Words are beautiful. They're amazing.
Yes.
Use, learn them. Use the big ones and use them in everyday conversation. You know what? Stop dumbing yourself down and use words that are, you know, my father said, that's a 50-cent word. Use the 50-cent words. You took the time to learn it.
Absolutely.
If they don't get it, well, we used to get told, there's a dictionary, look it up. Now you just ask fucking Google.
I looked something up in a dictionary recently, and I was amazed at the fact. I'm like, yo, I haven't used a dictionary in years.
Now, I was a bit of a mischievous child at times.
Fair enough.
And I had a nun in fourth grade, Sister Margaret Bonneville. I'm 59 years old, and I still quote Sister Margaret Bonneville. But I would cut in class, and she'd make me stay into a recess and start copying the dictionary. Start writing the words and their meanings, and just keep going until she said you're okay. And I had such a wise-ass little kid. I got the letter C. And so that's some writing. But you're reading as you go, because once you learn how to read every word you see, you automatically read subconsciously. It's just how it goes. I took the time after that to read the rest of the dictionary because I wanted to know the words.
Absolutely.
I want to know what they really meant. Oh, and use it properly.
Yes. You know, that, what you just said there, it brings me to this. I always say that there's a difference between a teacher and an educator. A teacher just gets you through the semester or whatever. They
got a test to make you pass, and they got tenure.
Absolutely. Whereas an educator knows how to incorporate emotion.
Knows how to reach you.
Yes. That's why you, as a 59-year-old man, you still think about that person. You know what I mean? I didn't necessarily like the dean of students I had in high school. I mean, he was an asshole, but he was an educator because I still think about some of the shit he used to come through with. I'm like, damn, you know, I'm 32 now. You know what I mean? Like, that shit still resonates. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's the difference. You know what I mean? I just wish we had more educators, honestly.
Well, that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, it is a whole other conversation. And, you know, it's like, I think a lot about like school. I'm like, if I had the ability to like create a school, like I want to teach kids like stress management, debt management, how to build good credit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to teach kids like the history that academia doesn't teach them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with all that, but you still got to have the basics, right?
100%.
And they keep fucking with the basics.
They do keep fucking with the basics.
So let's just if you don't have a foundation, you can't build a house.
Yes.
We don't give them foundations anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, word.
But, we can bemoan this kind of stuff once again. I can't change this world like that. I can change my part of it. I can teach my kids about things that they're not going to learn in school. That's my job as a parent.
Mm-hmm.
And try to teach them what I believe is right. And belief's another dangerous thing, too. But, because belief removes reason from the equation.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And this isn't my radical thought on my own. I read that somewhere because I used to read a lot.
That's a really good one. That's valid as hell.
Yeah.
You can stand on your beliefs even if it's clearly untrue.
Right.
You
can set yourself on fire for a superhero in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
You can believe, the moon's made out of cream cheese. We've been there, supposedly, but we've been there, right? Let's say we've been there for people who don't believe we've been there, right? So we've been there.
Mm-hmm.
And they came back with rocks and dust. No, it's blue cheese. You're wrong. It's cream cheese. You're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Well, I believe that. You can't change it. You can't change that.
Do you believe we've been to the moon?
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe we've been to the moon?
I struggle with that one.
Fair enough.
Because sometimes yes, sometimes no.
During the Cold War, we were in such a dick measuring contest with the Soviet Union, and it just doesn't surprise. I wouldn't be surprised if we lied about going there just to portray.
I will say this: why haven't we been back? And I don't mean doing a ride by on the dark side with Artemis, whenever it was 3, and then we come back and we just wait. You don't hear nothing from those guys. Where were they? They should be heroes. They should be interviewing all the talk show circuits. They should be everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You hear shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, who knows? Why was the shuttle an orbiter program for so long? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You get up there, bring it back down. Couldn't you learn something from it to the next level? I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
Mm-hmm.
So I go back and forth on that. Yeah. I mean, you want to go with conspiracy, let's go.
Yeah. Man, we can talk about some shit for sure. I just think we needed, the government wanted the people to believe that we were more advanced than the Soviet Union. We had to portray.
Well, we all had the same guys building the same stuff. Us and the Soviets. They're all Nazis brought back over after World War II. Soviets grabbed their bunch. We grabbed our bunch. We whitewashed their backstory. And as long as we get into space, that's what matters. Where von Braun developed the V1 and V2 rockets that rained down on London. And then, we have the von Braun Space Center now somewhere. I'm sure of it.
Fair enough.
So, and, governments, please.
My next question for you, my friend. What is a painful lesson you once resisted that eventually became one of the foundations of your worldview?
Wow. That was hard. That things are permanent. I had to accept that everything is transitory.
Okay.
And that was hard because we grew up with the family and we believe that's our world. And that's a permanent. They're always going to be there. We're always going to be them. And then they aren't, or they're gone. And that you get into a relationship, you think, so this is my true love forever, and it doesn't work. It falls apart and things change again. So everything's always in flux.
Mm-hmm.
And when I stopped resisting that and understanding that, things got better.
Yeah, that's what yeah. I mean, it goes back to that Bruce Lee quote, you got to go with the water.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And look what it was at its own level.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what I told myself, because it's like everybody's judgmental, everybody's a hypocrite, everybody's this, so that I don't give a shit what all these negative qualities qualities that society like say, oh, I would never do that. Or, yeah, we all do it in our own way. I posted something the other day, like the right circumstance will bring the wrong thing out of you. You know what I mean? In your own way. Right. You know what I mean? And I used to go so hard to eradicate these negative aspects of myself. And I was like, I'm driving myself crazy trying to heal myself. And it's because these are parts of who you are.
You never made friends with your demons.
100%. And I'm just like, instead of trying to eradicate it, just you can bring it from an 8 to a 4. You know what I mean? You gotta learn to live with it. The devil's gonna kick it on the couch. You just gotta be able to get the motherfucker up out of there, right? It's time to go.
You just gotta be the I see you. I see you.
Yeah.
You know, and once again, we're right back to the mirror, aren't we?
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, everything's always in flux. Nothing is ever as good as you want it to be, and nothing's ever as bad as you think it is.
Mm-hmm. You know,
that's the thing. I mean, I've gone from, living in my car at different times to being flushed, to having a good relationship, to blowing that relationship up and doing stupid stuff, and realizing, you gotta own it, and you gotta realize change is inevitable, and it's just that simple.
I feel like the people, and this is my belief, right? Like, this is why, and this is a conversation that rocks people. I believe that if you have the conviction to plunge a hole to hell, that you also do have the ability to build a ladder to heaven.
Yeah.
On the flip, think about school shooters. The conviction to think about this act of monstrosity, to rehearse it, to go to bed, and to wake up the next day still ready to do it. You know what I mean? Months of preparation, and then and then bam, it happened. It's like, fuck, you flipped a coin. Like, God damn it, this person was with this level of conviction to that amount of evil, that amount of despair. That's just that's hurting so many fucking people. It's like, God, if you flip the coin, this person can do brilliant things. You know what I mean? And I'm just like,
perfect example, Ted Kaczynski.
Bro, we
Stone Cold genius.
might be brothers because, I sing this fucking thing, Ted. Oh my God, oh my God, are you kidding me?
Ted Bundy.
Yes.
Could have been a brilliant lawyer.
Jeff Dahmer I think he could have been a renowned physician. 100%, veterinary, whatever. He could have done.
If he went from, if his thing would dissecting roadkill, went to Canada from a vet and learned how these things, how to heal.
Yeah.
As opposed to, I'm going to kill people.
I'm going to kill people and eat them. Yeah. All types of shit like that.
Once again, and, school shooters, that's a really advanced form of masturbation, isn't it?
Oh, that's interesting. Wow.
They're self-pleasuring.
Yeah.
They're seeing a vision to the end type situation. It's only about them.
Uh-huh.
They're just jerking off in a very violent way.
Wow. I never thought about it like that. That is very accurate. Holy shit. It's the most extreme level of masturbation. Holy moly. And I just feel like it's all about what society deems wrong with you is in direct correlation with what's right with you. Mm-hmm. I think it's all about how we channel these things.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Impulse control.
Yes. And I just, it never needs to go that way, man.
Are you familiar with Looney Tunes?
Yeah.
Okay. Bugs Bunny. Right? Dropping anvils or the Roadrunner, dropping anvils on the Coyote.
Yeah.
Right? I watched that as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
It was hilarious. I never had the urge or the impulse to drop an anvil on someone's head.
Absolutely.
Because why? I'm not fucking in the head like that.
Mm-hmm.
Is there mental health issues with some of the stuff? Is there SSRI stuff? Yeah, but in the end, it's a look at me situation. It's an attention hormone. It's a self-satisfying gesture. You got your grievances. Okay, air them. Talk to somebody. Something. But running into a school with a gun or running anywhere with a gun, guns are tools too. It can be used properly. They don't. And the illegal gun argument, who gives a fuck? Somebody misused this tool. AI, hammer, screwdriver, paperclip, pocket knife. It can all be misused.
And they can be a weapon, yeah.
Yeah. John Wick killed 3 people with a pencil.
Fact.
Try to lighten this thing up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's fun. That's valid. Bro. Man. It's like the people who agree to being interviewed on this platform, those are the people that I operate on the same wavelength as. The fact that you brought up Ted Kaczynski is crazy because I use him as an example often.
Sure.
I believe he was a product of MK Ultra.
Yeah. More like in somebody's school shooting.
Absolutely.
Sirhan.
Yeah, I was talking about him not too long ago, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you want to go down those rat holes, we can go forever. I mean, they're there. And the deeper you go, the scarier it gets.
I might have to be another conversation for a different day. I've been wanting to talk about MK Ultra because I've been wanting to learn more about it. I've been seeing people.
Charlie Manson.
Yeah. Wow.
David Berkowitz.
Shit. It's interesting.
Maybe Berkowitz, maybe not directly, but the cult he was involved with.
Is it so the MK Ultra? And correct me if I'm wrong. So like, the government doses people with LSD to brainwash them to then use them as a tool for their agenda. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And then you get people that go rogue.
Or do they?
Okay.
Or do they just get activated?
Interesting.
To serve whatever purpose they were created for.
Fair enough. I mean, because Ted Kaczynski, I mean, his ideology was true. I mean, like, technology was going to destroy humanity.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
We have
like,
caveman brains in Star Trek technology.
Yes. We're not equipped to fully.
But how many science fiction writers have said that already repeatedly and not mailed bombs to people?
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, there's no excuse for the action, but it's just like, God damn it. It just makes me wish, like, fuck, like, I wish things could have been different, because Ted Kaczynski could have been an amazing revolutionary mind, man.
Yeah.
God damn it, dude. Like, it just didn't have to go that way, man. I watched his.
There's also the mental health aspect with him. Early on, was the onset of schizophrenia in your early 20s that he'd have with most men?
It does.
What was it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we can ponder this till the cows come home. We're never going to get close to a real answer.
Not for nothing. I mean, I watched his documentary, the Unabomber in His Own Words. It's a 4-part docuseries. I watched it a few times. I was going to write the guy because I wanted to course through his consciousness, like sort of what I'm doing now with you, with other people. Like, I wanted to do that with him, I didn't do it, you know what I mean? But it's like, I'm down to have these conversations with everybody.
Sure.
You know what I mean? We, like you said earlier, like, critical thinking is dead. Some may say it's dead. Some say it's dying. Whatever.
It's not life support.
Either way, it's fucked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, patience is fucked. We don't have patience to get to that point that connects us all. That's why I'm saying, like, monstrosity is a part of humanity.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's something that people don't want to understand. That they don't want to rest with that truth. It's very uncomfortable. That's why I'm saying, like, I don't believe anybody is inherently evil because of the fact that we are human. It starts at that basic level. You know what I'm saying? I feel like everybody.
I also don't believe they're inherently good. I believe they're inherently a blank slate, as you said earlier.
Yes.
You know, a glob of unformed clay.
Mm-hmm. And I'm a believer in the possibility of redemption. It doesn't mean that it can't happen. We all have the ability to be great, but the willingness is a different thing. You know what I mean?
It's hard.
It is hard. It is hard, and I struggle with the duality of good and bad often. But I feel like it's important to wrestle with that in order to gain a deep understanding of humanity and all that encompasses it. You know?
Yes.
But my next question for you: when you look back on your younger self, what do you think he was searching for that he couldn't yet put into words?
Validation.
That's a fact.
You know, I mean, you called me humble to start. I've become humble. I was an arrogant prick for a lot of years. Admit that, own it. Try very hard not to be that, because pride comes before the fall. And it's the number one sin of all. And, everybody wants to be, you want to make the all-star team. You want to win the little blue ribbon for a subject in grade school. It means a lot. But does it really? It means it means you fit into whatever box is needed. It means that you conformed enough to be rewarded with a trinket. Pizza party for hitting third quarter measurements we got third quarter financials. We're doing great. Everybody gets pizza today in the break room. Okay, okay, thank you for the pizza. But does it really change my life? And we all want to be validated. We want to be seen.
Absolutely.
But you can be seen without having to be upfront. You
can be seen without conforming.
Absolutely. But and disruption sometimes is a good thing. It's how you choose to disrupt.
This brings me back to Diogenes. He did something. He took he would defecate in public, and people listen, taking a shit in public in front of a bunch of people. Yes, it's disgusting. It's distracting. Yes, but it's not actually harming anybody. He would do that to point out the hypocrisy in people, because it's like, okay, you view this and you condemn me for this when there are people that are committing fraud in plain sight, people embezzling in plain sight, people just doing awful things in plain sight, but you are choosing to focus on this. He was exposing the vanity of humanity in really the simplest way. You know what I'm saying?
We are no different than worms.
Oh God, please.
We are literally a mouth, an anus, and a digestive system in between. And then I gotta go to the supermarket after this. I hate spending money on food. You know why? What do I get for it? Pallets and poo.
Yeah.
That's it.
Spending a lot of fucking money.
Yes, exactly. Right? People, everything people talk about is something going into or out of their body. That's all it is. Food, drink, music goes into your body, okay? Shit, sperm, coming out of your body, urine. That's all it is. You're basically one giant shit tube with the brain. We all are. Fuck yes. I know that sounds a little crass, a little dismissive, but we're no different than the dog in the park dropping a load. That's who you are.
Diogenes, your dog.
No, exactly. You're people.
Yeah.
You're an animal.
And that's why I have always, cause I'm a peculiar man. I'm definitely a neurodivergent being. It's just something that I accept. I embrace it. So I would always have these conversations with people and say, we had nothing in common. And I'm like, that is completely, that's so far from the truth.
Basically, you have everything in common.
Yes.
And you have a couple slight differences.
100%.
You're choosing those differences to define me. Not the overall humanity. We meet in this business, we meet famous people. Okay, famous people are people that found something they like to do and they got lucky at it.
Fair enough.
Be it sports, music, writing, what have you. That's all they are. And I remember telling my kids when they were younger, they're like, oh, yeah, we're going to meet so-and-so, they're famous. I said, yeah. And they take a piss when they wake up too. Their breath stinks in the morning. They're people.
Their shit stinks just like yours.
They're people. Okay. And we choose to build the mythologies around them. I'm not saying we got to tear everybody down, but you got to realize we're all just the same as far as that goes. You sweat, I sweat. I cut you, you bleed, I bleed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You eat, I eat. We sleep. All of that is all the same. The differences are much more minute.
Mm. Yeah.
And the difference is where everybody hangs their hat, whether it's Jesus they believe in, or Allah, or Buddha, or the flying spaghetti monster. Pick your superhero in the sky. I don't fucking care. How about just be nice to each other?
That's it.
It's not rocket science. And I'm not always good at it. I admit it. There are people I vehemently dislike. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I struggle with that like everybody does. There's people who vehemently dislike me.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at it this way, I aired it somehow with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're a damn thing. I can try to be nice and change it. Redemption again. Or at least lessen the hostility. But there's nothing I can do about it because it's their choice too.
Absolutely.
So in the end, as we keep going back to throughout this entire conversation, just try to be a good you.
Fuck yeah.
I'm not saying I own it. I'm not always a good guy, but I try not to be arrogant.
I believe
Anymore.
it is just something I say that really huffles people. But I believe that God and Satan work hand in hand. I believe that happens within us. You know what I mean? And I always go back to the story of Job, because without Satan coming in and fucking Job over like that, Job's faith would never have been recognized for being as strong as it was. I do believe in necessary evil, and I do believe that within us, yes, God and Satan work hand in hand.
No,
that's an old theological belief.
Yeah.
That's nothing new.
No, it's a duality situation again. And then if you think about this, if you read the Old Testament, older versions of it, Satan was not a name. It was a job title. It was an archangel who was meant to be the adversary, was meant to be the tester.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of a Lucifer or Satan and all that as a demon came from later mythologies about the fallen angels and the rebellion in heaven. But originally, it was the Satan.
Yes. Yes.
He had a job where he had to put people on trial. His job was to tempt people to see if he was working for the man.
The lawyer, right? Yeah. I've heard. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And lack of a better term. Once again, see, lawyers can't trust lawyers. But that's it. So yeah, and then you got all these years of different fakers on top of it, and the farther you go, the further you get from the one kernel. Own your shit and do unto others. Other than that, that's all you need.
Yeah.
And I'm working hard on both of those. Not always doing good. One too many whiskeys, that ugly guy comes out sometimes. I know that.
I had to put the sauce down, and
Yeah.
that shit was doing nothing but bringing out the destruction.
Yeah, and that's it, and that's how it goes.
That's a fact. What part of yourself have you had to fight hardest to preserve in a world that often pressures people to become something else?
I would say the critical thinking part.
Mm-hmm.
It's harder to it's very hard to question everything all the time, including yourself. It's easier just to, here you go. That's been the hardest thing, to always go look at everything and try to look at it where it's not surface value. You don't have to dig into everything like that deep as it goes, but just, that's.
And I think that's my problem. Like I probe at everything.
Right, but you gotta find that happy medium, right? To drive yourself. No.
Yeah.
Because you know what? And you're still a young man. Okay.
Yeah.
Talk to me in 20 years.
Fair enough.
And, that's the other thing too. It's life has a way of learning you. Gives you the lessons, but also wears you down.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the greatest things that it did to me is sometimes I just don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't. No energy for this. Not happening.
Jim. Yeah. You know, and it makes me think, when I think about how hard I go sometimes, or how hard other people would, like a friend of mine would always probe and probe, and it would annoy me. And I find myself doing the same thing. And then I found myself getting so immersed within Socrates and everything, and understood like how he annoyed the hell out of people. But it's like, yeah, like you're too much. Right. I feel like it's like you that being too much or doing the most, that it's necessary though. It is. Sometimes it's, yeah.
Sometimes it's counterproductive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did a little bit of corporate radio for a while.
Okay.
Okay, we have sales meetings. We sit there and we go through all the dog and pony show, and they tell us what they want and the A questions. And there was always that one person who had to keep asking, and they're digging deeper and deeper and asking where it's face value.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got some clarification, but now they're just asking because they're in love with the asking, not because they really want to learn anything.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I can understand that.
And everybody in the room wants to kill this person is we don't make any money sitting at the damn table.
Yeah.
We want to get out and feed our families. You know?
Yeah, dude.
So yeah, you once again, how much do you want to drive yourself? That's my question. Is it? And the other one I say to people, is this the hill you really want to die on?
Yeah. I've been saying that a lot lately.
You know, you got two currencies in this world that you can spend, you can never get back: time and energy. You always make more money.
Yeah.
You always get more food, more goods. But you spend your time. Once that second's ticked, it's going forever. And your energy, and you replenish it sometimes.
Yeah.
You've only got a finite. You're only dancing around this plane for so long.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, like I said, I'm not a new agey guy or anything like that. It's all just started making sense about that kind of crap as I got older.
I've noticed so much about like I've fluctuated so much in terms of weight, and I would never care because I'm like, I can just go hard and lose the weight and it's fine. But I'm like, as I'm 32, and I'm like, it's harder now to like really convict myself to it. You know,
10 years, wait till you see what happens.
Yeah, like fuck.
Yeah, I mean, my wife and I moved into our house. This is what we had 15 years ago. I was, a young man. Yard work, go damn all day long.
Probably.
Right? Digging, moving. I carried the couch into the house alone.
Wow.
Right? Threw it up on my back, went right through the door, done. I hurt my back riding a lawnmower yesterday. You know, no saying. You'll learn. And, I mean, it's just, things change. Embrace. I enjoy it. I never thought I'd live this long. And I did an awful lot to make sure I couldn't. But here I am. And I know I'm on the back nine. And I'm okay with that too. I'd like to enjoy what I have left. And some days I do, some days I don't. Was it Emerson maybe you said the world is too much with us?
The world is too much with us.
Meaning it's always, you ever fall asleep and dream about all your stress from the day before, or stuff comes back that, I was delivering newspapers last night in my sleep because new papers found me. I was in my sleep the night before designing the paper with Justin in the back room here.
Yeah.
Because the world's too much with me. There's no escape sometimes.
Interesting.
I mean, everybody should also try to reset somehow. And that makes them calm. I like water.
Yeah.
Just pull next to a pond and sit there and stare at the pond for a little while.
I was told by...
Turn the damn radio off, turn the phone off, and just look at the pond. Watch the waves. Watch the trees move. Crappy John Travolta movie called Phenomenon. And the whole thing is pseudo Scientology and religious and spiritual base and all that. But at one point we were sitting there and this one was freaking out. He says to her, and she's watching the trees and she's centered. You got to find the thing that centers you. For somebody maybe putting the headphones on and blasting death metal at 12, if that's the centers them, good.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, whatever, I have a list of like 5 songs that I use for different times, and I'm stressed out or this, that, or that. what centers you, because otherwise you, like you said, you just probe all day, damn day long. And Don Quixote, he adjusted windmills to stop the windmills. Same thing. Do you want to be Don Quixote or do you want to have a fulfilled life?
Fair enough. What does fulfillment mean to you?
Oh, that's an easy question for me at this point in my life.
What does fulfillment mean to you?
Basically, to be able to enjoy the family I have, my wife and my kids, pay my bills, and that's all I need. I don't need fancy. I don't need trips. I don't need work cars.
You don't need vanity.
I just don't care anymore.
Verity over vanity.
I mean, I look at this face, and once again, look at this face in the mirror. It ain't getting any better. And it's okay for me so far, but I don't need more. I don't need I don't need fancy shoes. I don't need gold chains. I don't need the midlife crisis car.
We just decide one thing with me.
I don't need the title.
Yeah. One thing that bothered me so much to the point where it was driving me crazy, a friend of mine had to come through, and this was like years ago. He had to come through and talk to me. It's like, I was just like, dude, people just want more. They don't want to be more. Like, what the fuck?
But that's their paradigm, and you can't worry about it.
Yeah.
You worry about you being more. That's what you fulfill. That's what you do. Let them have their paradigm. You can't. Dorothy Parker, you ever read her? First female editor of the New Yorker. She wrote plays, she wrote poems, she worked in movie scripts, all that stuff. Very, very sharp woman. There was a movie written about Mrs. Parker or Vicious Circles, all these writers that hung out. I think it was the 30s in New York City when it all started out. My quote on Facebook, and even though I talk to people here all the time, is she said, you can lead a horticulture. Can't make her think.
You can lead a horticulture. You can't make her think. Wow. Dorothy Parker, huh?
Yeah, her and Oscar Wilde.
Oscar Wilde, yeah.
For quotes alone must be read.
Yeah.
Charles Bukowski is another one.
That's my guy.
But what are you going to do? Here is, it's a play on the old, lead a horse some water.
Absolutely.
But much more biting, much more satirical, maybe a little more truthful.
Yeah. God damn.
I ain't changing anyone's mind anymore. I don't have the time nor the energy.
It's too much out of you, yeah.
And it's screaming into the void, especially these days, as everyone's so entrenched. Once again, life and nuance. They can't understand the twist of a phrase anymore. They can't look beneath the surface.
It's so easy. And plus, it's so easy for us to just get fed bullshit that we want to believe,
Kind of like a matrix, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
What wound from your past continues to teach you something about yourself today?
Jesus. All of them. Yeah, just the whole life I've led. Like I said, I haven't always been a good man. I haven't always been a bad man. Always somewhere vacillating in between,
If you could think of one moment that really made you question yourself, like one event, something, like what would that be for you?
I can't pull one up, and I'm not being cagey. I really can't pull anything up. I mean, maybe I would have handled dissolution of my first marriage better.
Fair enough.
That's as far as I'm going to that. Let's put it this way. I was wrong.
Okay.
But you know what? I got lucky enough to have a, good wife. But we grew apart. We do. Like people do. And she was the perfect person to raise my sons with. So that's probably, maybe that.
Fair enough.
But once again, I own it.
So you can do.
Yeah.
Accountability.
Sure. And I've made my amends with her over, not fault check for over or anything.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
We get along just fine. But I was the bad guy.
Fair enough. What moment in your life forced you to reevaluate what truly matters?
Probably having to leave the house at like 18 with no money in my pocket. You had to leave the house. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, was it just a situation where it was like you're 18 and this is the way it is, or
No. It's much more emotionally charged than that. My parents were going through divorce.
Mm-hmm.
My mother was having a psychotic break.
Well, shit.
And it got dangerous for me to be in the house with her because I let him.
Yo.
Yeah. Yeah. And I had about as much choice in that as I do the fact that my eyes are blue.
Mm-hmm.
But it is what it is. That forced me to realize you got to grow up. This extended adolescence we give our kids.
Mm-hmm.
And that was over. There's no more college. There's no war, no where your next meal's sober, bro. There may not be any war. But you gotta get out of here, you gotta figure it out. That has made me a lot of who I am. That moment.
Wow. Fair enough. You were not sheltered.
I was up until that point.
Fair enough.
Or I felt everything was, it wasn't, Leave It to Beaver, but it wasn't bad. Wasn't great, it just was.
Understood. What belief about human nature have you arrived at after a lifetime of observing people and their stories?
Everybody is in the same boat.
Same boat, different page. We all
different seat in the lifeboat next to the Titanic.
Well, yeah.
Everybody, people are like, well, there's a big bad. Well, everyone's having, some people are having a bad day. Some people have a good day. Some have a bad day tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And what constitutes your bad day, I may want to fluff off because it doesn't matter to me.
Mm-hmm.
But your world is the biggest thing in the world.
Yeah.
And who am I to dismiss?
Absolutely.
We're all the same except for opportunities that are present themselves to us. Or just home for some people. Some people make their own wives. Some people get lucky. But in the end, we talked about this earlier. We're orbs with a brain.
Worms with a brain. I was going to hold on to that. I really like that. What aspect of fatherhood revealed something about yourself that you didn't fully understand before becoming a parent?
All of it. And this is a cliche answer, but a lot of cliches are true.
Absolutely.
That little being is more than you. And then that it never ends. My oldest son is going to be 39 years old this year. He got kids of his own. I don't care about him any less now than I did when he was 5. It's a different relationship, mind you. He's a grown-ass man. Making his way in life and doing a damn good job of it. My middle child, he going to be 34. Same thing. But that doesn't mean the way I care about them has changed. My daughter's 19.
Mm-hmm.
It's all the same. They're, in one aspect, I look at them, in my mind's eye, I see them as that little kid who came out of the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
In another aspect, I'll look at them to see a peer.
Mm-hmm.
I won't say an equal, because once again, they're all better than me. They're all better people.
Interesting. Okay. Wow. Damn, that's real. I won't say equal. You won't say equal because they're better people than you.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Across the board.
Holy shit.
Sometimes that causes conflicts amongst us too.
That's a fact. Oh, that's beautiful, man. That's raw. What is the truth about life that took you many years to accept?
Not everything needs a reaction.
Yeah.
Sometimes just let it go. Also, sometimes the closure is, there is no closure. I hear people say, I need closure. You're not going to, sometimes the closure is it's just over.
Yeah.
You don't need you're never going to know the other person's reasons or have you, so just why eat yourself up over it?
Mm-hmm.
Those are two biggest things for me.
That should be what it is.
Unfortunately, as unsatisfactory as that is, yeah.
Yeah.
Most people don't give a flying fuck about you either.
Yeah.
You're useful to or not.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, I've learned that all too often.
Yeah. And, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's not good, but it's okay.
It's an unfortunate, it's an unfortunate reality of life, you know.
And it's always been that way.
Absolutely. Mm.
You think Anthony really loved Cleopatra, or was she the way to shore up his political power against Rome? Right?
We've always found ways to make relationships transactional. You know what
Well,
I'm saying?
the whole idea of romantic love and you pick your own partnership, that's new. You look back at, other cultures, there's still arranged marriages in places like India. And you look at like the Middle Ages and daughters they were currency.
Yeah.
Queen Elizabeth I caused all kinds of trouble in England because she wouldn't marry. They kept trying to marry her up. You need to marry to secure your throne. She's like, peers, no. So she wasn't loving anybody or whatever they would say about her. But, yeah. Ideals are dangerous too.
Ideals are dangerous. Elaborate on that one.
Well, ideals walk hand in hand with belief. There doesn't have to be reason behind them. Like when a little kid screams you, it's not fair. No, it's not. Okay? And you can, ideals are something you can afford if you're really rich or really poor. Everybody in between is just trying to keep their head above water.
One thing I always said, and I feel like it connects to this, is your world doesn't have to make sense to others.
It won't.
Yes.
I'm never going to wear pajamas to Walmart. That makes no sense to me. But for the person who's doing it, it makes all the sense in the world. Then, okay, cool.
That's just it. It's just, I mean, whenever I used to wear pajamas out to play, I didn't give a fuck.
Right.
It really did.
Zero fucks given. Okay. Yeah. And respect that.
Yeah.
About what?
Doing it. Yeah, absolutely. I can definitely say I no longer do that. I don't know. I traded the pajamas for the fucking sweatpants. You know what I mean? But just fucking, it's comfortable. Goddamn, I don't always want to throw on fucking jeans, man.
No,
I get you. Gotta be in the mood. But my last question for you, King. When everything you've built is stripped away, the titles, the work, the reputation, who do you believe remains underneath all of it?
I hate titles. Reputation. Do you create it? Do other people create it for you? What we do, is it who we are? For some, and that's an American thing, So what do you do? I go to like these mixers and people will say, so, what do you do? It's a dumb question because it's not, in my case, it's who I am. Because this is what I've always wanted to do and it's what I love. But I like to ask people, what turns you on? What excites you? And for me, it's like I said, don't worry about the same thing. It's my wife and my kids. And the few friends I have. Because we have a lot of acquaintances. We call them friends. But the guy that you call at 3 a.m. and say, grab a shovel. How many of them you got?
Yeah.
Like my mother-in-law who's passed and my grandmother was both say the same thing. You used to be, once you get to a certain age, you should count your friends on one hand and have figures left over. They're your friends. You have acquaintances of varying degrees. They're your friends.
Yeah.
I own a bar. I own a lot of bars, but I own this bar. And our regulars, they came to the house, we hung out, and we went to weddings and all that. And we were getting ready to close it. And I said to my wife, 85% of these people aren't going to speak to us after this. Or if they do, it's going to be when we open our next bar. And she didn't quite want to believe it. And it was true. And I learned that from a guy who told me that. Didn't come out of my own. I'm not a genius or anything. But he told me that. And what I learned from it was the surprise of who are the people who stuck around were and who are the people who left were. Because it's not always the same people you thought it would be. Some people you thought would be your ride or die were the first ones to jump ship. Others who it was a cursory involvement as far as you were concerned. You changed their life somehow. And they would step in front of a bus for you.
Yeah.
So in the end, none of it really matters. Gonna either get burnt and go in the dirt or what have you. And Hopefully the legacy is people who actually loved you and knew you still remember and tell your stories every now and again. That's all that matters.
Well said.
Who gives a fuck about titles?
Word. You can learn from the person that's homeless and deemed a bad man.
You know, and this can get very heady right here, but Dr. King said something that was very important. Judge a man by the content of his character.
Mm-hmm.
I take everybody who comes at me the same way. Come on, let's talk.
Yeah.
And it's until you prove yourself otherwise, I'll start judging you.
Yeah.
Live and let later. Be done. Make your way and try to hurt people. Not always can do with that either. But getting older.
Absolutely.
Not as strong as I once was. Not as, as quick as I once was. Learning how to settle into yourself. Settle into what's important.
Uh-huh.
Shut the fucking noise in.
So, yes, sir.
Hey, watch movies you don't like because the person in real likes it.
Talk to people you don't agree with.
Especially. And don't argue with.
Listen
to them.
Listen with the intent to understand.
Have a conversation, not an argument.
Yeah. And you know what? That's what, and I was telling my friend, I'm like, that's what this platform is for. I'm like, I'm not here to argue with people.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, yo, you should have pushed back on that. I'm like, why? I'm not here to argue with you on your beliefs. I just want to.
I've never talked about this stuff on tape or on video with anybody like I do with you today.
Yeah, people tell me that a lot. Yeah.
Well, no one's ever taken the time to ask. But two, I could dance around stuff all day long. I just don't give a fucking where you're in. You got an opinion about me one or the other. I can't change it. I don't care to. But here's what I think. I hope I haven't come off as an asshole. And to some people, I'm sure I have. And that's okay too. Their paradigm, not mine.
Rock and roll, brother.
Like I said, it took me 53 years to start waking up to that. This is all relatively new. Stop jousting windmills. Stop being a tough guy. Stop trying to be, I got to get my respect. And I still have problems with that sometimes too. I admit it. But you know what? Okay. I'll figure it out. I still got another 20 or 30 left. I'll figure it out. I'm hoping for another 20 or 30.
I pray I can live.
It have to be 12 minutes for all I know. We don't know.
Yeah.
So, figure it the fuck out. Or at least try.
Absolutely.
Don't get concrete in your thinking as you get old. Get more acquisitive. Shake off that Rockefeller-based education. Start educating yourself.
Learn from thy neighbor.
Yeah. Chase your passions.
Mm-hmm. Fuck yeah.
Look for new. Don't listen to the same music you listened to in high school for the rest of your life. Don't watch the same movies you watched 900 times. We all do that because it's comforting and it's easy. But watch something that's shaking your core a little. Watch something that you go like, I don't know what the hell I just watched. Listen to something go, I don't know. My wife says try everything 3 times. So the first time you mean it, like the second time you mean, the third time will tell you if you really did or not.
Wow.
Pretty smart.
Yeah, absolutely.
Smarter than I am, that woman. First person I know. Patience a joke.
I love it. Oh, man. Divinity, brother.
Yeah.
That's church.
And truth is truth, period. And then people say, well, my truth. No, your truth is your perception. Truth is truth. Sometimes facts can just be facts. Unfiltered, there they are. The sun is in the sky. Well, that's not my truth. It's in the firmament. All right, semantics, who gives a shit? So, yeah. I don't know. In the end, it's a short ride. It's not always fun. But it's what we got. And I'm trying my best to get better at it and be better at it and be nicer and all that stuff. Suspend judgment sometimes. Dive deeper others.
Yes, sir.
It's not all I got for you. For an old fat guy sitting here in a chair.
I appreciate your time, for real.
Oh, thank you. This has been fun.
This is the shit that help. This shit helps me, man. Like, talking to people is just, it activates the vitality.
I think you're honest on me too, because, conversation. This country was founded in taverns. What do people do in taverns? What did they used to do? They talk to each other.
Yeah.
They argue. They sing. Sometimes they fight.
Yeah.
But it's humanity, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, when they shut us down, what was the first thing they tried to do?
Tell us we can't leave.
We can't. We're social creatures.
Yeah.
You can't congregate. You can't.
Social distancing.
All that stuff. Break everything that makes us who we are.
Mm-hmm.
And doing this type of stuff gets it back. I love podcasts. I listen to them. I watch my videos at night on YouTube. You know, I know everything there is to know about the Great Pyramid. It's escapism, but it's fascinating. But this conversation, this is going to be the highlight of my week because you had a conversation. You ask me some tough questions. We tried to answer honestly.
Absolutely. I mean, dude, like I wouldn't be here doing this had it not been for you to give me the opportunity to write. I never thought about interviewing anybody. And I'm like, interviewing? How the fuck am I supposed to do that?
Yeah, well, you know, we have a pretty simple approach here with everything we do, right?
Yeah.
You know, everybody around here, 518. First of all, more than my area code, okay?
But, yes, sir.
But if you're a local musician and you send something in, we're going to play it, period. If you send us 4 songs and they're terrible, we're going to find one we can put in the library for you. He's going to be representing your shop. If you're a young writer or an old writer or a returning writer or just anybody wants to pen to paper and you say, listen, I'd like to try something out. Yes, please. We'll give you a shot. Here's our few guidelines that we do. And other than that, be you, explore you, grow. You know, I mean, what if nobody took the chance in Charles Bukowski? I mean, granted, he published a lot in like Screw Magazine, but the point is, someone took the chance. What if nobody had ever decided to publish, I don't know, just trying to think of a great piece of work from my personal thought. What if nobody decided to publish Ask the Dust by John Fonte or Anonymous Nin or, you know, any of it? Pick a book. Right?
Mm-hmm.
No, someone didn't, you got to give them a chance. I mean, we get music from all over the world here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Rob and I sit and listen to every single song that comes in. Because my biggest fear is I miss something that might blow my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could miss something. I may love to the ends of the earth. You may never see what the hell I've seen it, but changed my life. And, you know, giving you a chance to write. The idea is, this is a perspective I don't have. And every time I read your stuff, I learn something. I learn a little bit about you. I learn about the person you're talking to. My world is bigger. My world is better. You know, I think, you know, with our paper too, we didn't go out finding all the people that had local credentials and were known in the quote unquote scene or whatever. We cultivated our people. They either came to us or said, hey, you know, I think you could write.
Yeah.
Oh, I never tried. Try. It might suck. Yeah. Your thought?
You have to be willing to be a clumsy novice before
you have to be willing to suck. You have to be and you have to be willing to kill your babies.
Yeah, more of that.
You know, that's the hardest thing I ever learned. You know, you write something, you think, this is fucking Pulitzer, man. This is going to be get literary awards. And the editor goes, no. And they explain why. And hopefully you don't just show your belly. Instead you go, well, what if I do this and this to make it better? Now you grew, he grew, everyone's doing well. You know, so you got to give people a chance. Mm-hmm. Like the guy, like I got going to radio at 15 with Jimmy Barrett, became my best friend, who still does a show on my station now. Mm-hmm. He gave a kid a chance. That set this whole silly ass life of mine in motion. Otherwise, it probably would end up, you know, going to school and becoming a teacher or an accountant or something. Full fine professions.
But which one? But it's like, what?
And I would have made a lot more money doing both of those.
Fair enough. But it's like, what brings the real humanity? That's ultimately that's really what matters.
Hardest thing to be in this world is yourself. Truly yourself.
Yeah.
And
when everybody else is wearing a fucking mask, you know what I mean?
And as you are and as I am. We're all wearing our masks. I mean, there is no reality. It's a collective hunch we all agree upon. I don't know what philosopher said that, but it's pretty true.
Well, have to look into that. Absolutely.
It's, it's all the same. And philosophers, I read philosophy on the toilet because most of those guys are full of shit too.
Absolutely.
But with quote Richard O'Brien, Rocky Horror Show, a little mindfuck can be nice.
Yes, indeed. Try to let everybody, because people hear the term psycho philosophical, like, dude, I'm not a philosopher. And I'm like, well, if you think about how to live, yeah, you are.
If you thought about yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's from Diogenes himself,
Yeah, the other thing I said before, learn your words. It's the only way we have to capture our thoughts and try to be perfect. Try to perfect your capture your thoughts. You never will. Because words are weaker than thoughts. Everything's weaker than thought. Wouldn't you love to know what a baby thinks about what's going through their minds pre-verbal?
You're fucking right. I would love that. A baby has a bad dream. What the hell is that baby dreaming about?
Right.
Yes. Yes.
I've always said I wish I could capture the last thing that goes through my mind before I fall asleep every night.
Well,
because you may think about something until you fall asleep, but what's the last fleeting thought that you can't capture or bring it back? What's the last thing that goes through your head?
I don't know. That was beautiful, brother. I appreciate your time, man.
Well, thank you. It's been great. Appreciate this. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, man. Experience months.
I just hope I don't sound too pompous.
Brother, you are solid. You are so solid, man.